So look, we are in Atlantic City. What do we look to do in Atlantic City?
We like to look at some baseball cards. Hey again, guys. So that was Pete on my opening. He came and introduced himself to me, and we walked around a little bit, and I asked him if he wanted to do the opening for my national reveal. Hey man, I'm back from the national, and it was better than I expected. Absolutely. What an amazing experience. Now, I went there thinking that I was more interested in meeting everyone and the people than the cards. And I had in my mind said that if I don't get anything, that's fine. Like, I want to at least get maybe one thing to say that I got it at that national, but it was more about the people. And I have to say, I was right. I was tired of looking at cards. I can't believe I'm saying that. Rick was gonna video me saying that because man, it was exhausting. After the first day and a half, I was just about done already. As you know, or as many of you know, I got a flat tire on the way up there, and I'm gonna spare that entire story. I don't know that I should put it all on video, to be honest with you, but I was stranded. So I want to thank Dawn and James for driving 40 minutes to come and get me. Stranded with my, man, I was not in a good way. I was stranded in the middle of nowhere at a place that I didn't totally feel safe, with a lot of money and all my belongings. And my car did not have a spare tire, and I didn't know that. It didn't have a donut or anything. I had to wait for 4 hours. For a tow truck to come. And then I would have been stranded if Don and James didn't come and get me. So I wanted to do a little recap here and show you what I picked up. You know, I've watched a lot of videos on the National, and there are a lot of people that have been ripping on it. You know, man, I watch Sports Card Radio. And I used to think he does a good job, but man, all he does now is just rip on hobby people, rip on the hobby in general. It turned very negative. I was just listening to his on the way home. You know, I thought it was a fabulous venue as far as that convention center. I didn't even get to see all the booths. It was enormous, way bigger than I was expecting. But I mean, a wonderful venue, I thought, as far as the convention center. What the problems were is the Wi-Fi and phone access inside, which everybody's talking about. But I know dealers lost out on a lot of money because people couldn't get through their PayPal. Now, I took just a little bit in cash because I don't like to travel with cash too much. And getting stranded like I did, that's one of the reasons. Somebody could just take my money and I'm done. And man, walking around Atlantic City, I had an experience there too. You don't want to be doing that with lots of cash in your pocket. I know one guy got attacked there. And so that's why. So I figured I'll just pay PayPal or whatever. And so after like the first day and a half, I couldn't buy anything because nobody would take PayPal. Nobody wanted to deal with it. And I was done. So I had all this money I was planning on spending that I could not spend. And I spent the rest of it this morning on eBay, you know? So I know dealers missed out on tons and tons of money there. And I had an experience with Probstein. And man, it's changed my view. I bought a lot of cards there. I don't think I'll ever buy another one. I go up and I'm looking at this Cracker Jack Nap Ladjaway. And I just wanted to know what the price was. It was one of the cards I was looking for at the National. And he's like, my phone's down, and if you know, go look at comps. And I'm like, I don't want to look at comps. Like, I don't do that. I don't have a VCP account. You guys know me. I don't look at comps. Just give me a price. And he wouldn't. So I just walked away. There were 2 tables I went to. The prices were so ridiculous, they actually made me mad. And I didn't want, I looked at a few cards and just walked away. I'm like, I'm done with this table. Like, they were so outrageously overpriced not even worth looking at. But the rest of the venue was, I thought the show was, fabulous besides that. And I don't understand because I build wireless networks. I build cellular networks. And that's part of what my company does is we go to all the big venues in DC and everything, and we put in what's called DAS, which is an indoor antenna system. And the carriers will pay you to do that. We have these shared systems, so they're all there. So you get cellular in these venues. And in 2022, it is just unbelievable that they would not have a DAS system in there. You don't even need Wi-Fi. So that's just, I can't believe that. The other thing is the ATM charges a 3% fee. And so in this day and age, Square makes those little handheld things where you can give somebody a debit card or a credit card. None of these dealers have them. I mean, they should make, if they could ask you to pay 2% or 3%, whatever. I mean, if you're out of cash, you'll probably pay it. If you get cash out of the ATM, you have to pay 3%. So what's the difference? That was an astronomical fee. They have a maximum of $800 and it costs you $24 to take it out. So that's a bad thing because there's nowhere to go. Now, there's a Sheraton right across the street, and if you go over there, it's a reasonable fee, but you can only take $100 at a time. So, that's just not fair to charge people that, and it's the only ATM at the convention center. But we know how those things go. But beyond that, just an absolute wonderful experience. Staying with all those YouTubers, fabulous. So let's see. Oh, before I get started, there's one thing I do want to do. I want to give a shout out to a young man who has a new channel. And right before I'm filming this, he has 53 subscribers, and he should have more. The sports card community, I think, should support him. He came and introduced himself to me at the National, and that's Staven Sports Cards. And I'm going to put the link in the description. But I ask you to go check him out. And, if you like it, subscribe. Only has 53. He's new. He's young. He knows a lot about his cards. We had some conversations, and man, it's nice to see I think he's 23 years old. Nice to see a young man like that know something about vintage cards. So I have to give him a shout out, and it was a pleasure to hang out with him. So let's see what I got. First, I went to the first YouTube cocktail party, and I ended up buying cards there from Sean Tieford, which I'll show in a minute. But Rue Dog showed up, and he gave me this Clemente and this Kellogg's Dave Parker. And he gave me this Harvey Haddock's Cons. And I didn't notice right away, but I turned it over to look at the stats, and there's another one on the back. And this one's so special to me because for the longest time, I only had one of these, and it was the Smokey Burgess. But I got it years ago, and it's like a dog must have got a hold of it, and it has kind of teeth marks in it. And I've always wanted to upgrade it, but these are hard to find. So he doesn't even know. I ran over to him when I discovered it, and I told him how much this means to me. I've been looking for this. Then I saw Dr. Beckett there. And, I was on a live with Dr. Beckett through James Elite Hunters. And so I was walking up to him. I wanted to, say hi. And I was about to say, I don't know if you remember me, but I was on a live feed with you. And then he's like, John, I've been wanting to get you on my podcast. So, man, I'm looking forward to that. That was fun. That was exciting. James Elite Hunters got me this Vernon Law autographed 55 Bowman. And George Diamond Yard Sports Cards, he showed up with care packages for all of us. And most of these cards are signed. But man, he gave me a great care package. Dick Groth, they called him Dr. Strangeglove. He wasn't a very good fielder, but he was a good home run hitter. And one of the leagues in the minors, I can't remember the number he hit, but he held that league's single season home run record. It was 60 some. And Bob Veal, I'm a big Bob Veal fan. And he had sent these, and this is in such great condition, better condition than the one I had. And I told him I'd buy it, and he brought it for me. Bill Mazeroski and Gino Simoli. And this is just a classic. And he got me Iron Man McGinnity. Now, if you don't know, he got his nickname because 5 times in his career, he pitched both ends of a doubleheader and 3 times won both games. Got this Philadelphia Pittsburgh Steelers card. My man Dave Kingman. This guy was ahead of himself. You know, all the players today bat .264 and hit a bunch of home runs. That's what he was doing back in the 70s. And the Mad Hungarian. He was a small man, used to meditate behind the mound and face the outfield, turn around, fire the ball into his glove, and then face the batter. And he did that because he was small and he tried to intimidate batters. And J.R. Richard, if he didn't get sick, what a career he could have had. And George Foster. And these are signed. George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards. Thank you again. Here's the cards I got from Sean Tiford. Man, he's great. He always gives me such great deals. And it was great to meet you too, Sean. But I got this Hideki Matsui, Japanese rookie. I was a big fan of him. You know, if he came up when he was younger, you'd hear a lot more about him. And I got this Mike Piazza rookie. I have a raw one, but just a classic card. I wanted that. And I don't know why, but I got this Vlad card. And I got the super rare Burke Ross. Gil Hodges. It's a beauty. And got another 1939 Salesman Sample. I have 3 of these. I have Melott, Joe DiMaggio, and Paul Derringer. And now I have the Chuck Klein. And this is great because he's with the Pirates at this time. Now, I posted a video walking through the trade night. It was pandemonium. Unbelievable. You have to forgive my voice. I talked so much that I became a little hoarse on the way home. But that trade night was just insane. I mean, just grown men take over the whole hotel, the hotel hallways, and everybody's sitting on the ground with their cards and everything. Now, I didn't bring anything to trade. It was just after one of the functions, I wanted to go check it out. And, you know, I didn't expect to see any vintage cards or anything. And I don't know why, but I didn't think people would be selling. I just thought it was trade night. And, man, I got this card, what I think is a steal. And it's a strip card of Tris Speaker. It's a beauty. I only ate like once a day. I just didn't think about it. And you know how you go so long, you're not even hungry anymore. So this particular day, and it was after, you know, we were drinking at the one event with Filmington and Silver Jackify. And then I go to trade night, I get this, and it's 11:30 at night, and I hadn't eaten all day. Man, I was hangry. So I went out with James Elite Hunters and Lou Rock. We went to Johnny Rockets. And man, they have some great chili. Great chili. But James was taking his card. He's like, let me see this. And he's like critiquing it. And I'm hangry. I'm like, give me my card back. I always wonder, like, People grade cards. You send it into PSA, you get a 3. And then you're critiquing every little thing about it. Well, why send it into PSA? They already did that for you. They already did that. All right. I got a couple of exhibit cards. Next to nothing. This guy was selling these exhibit cards for like 10 and 15 bucks. Got the Carl Hubble. One of the greatest pitchers ever. And a Marty Marion. Now, I got something special. Let me look here. So, I've been wanting an old card of his, and I found this, and man, I thought it was pretty cheap. So I snagged it. And I bought a bunch of cards from Kit Young, and after buying from him for years, I had to go up and introduce myself. And I must have sounded like some groupie or something, telling him he was a legend in the hobby and how I've been buying from him for years. I probably made a fool out of myself, but you know, it's kind of exciting to meet guys in the hobby and dealers and whoever that, you know, have impacted your life for decades, right? So I got this 1910 M116 Connie Mack. I like this set. I have a bunch. And so we stumbled, Rick, Vintage Eyeball Cards and I, we were walking around. We stumbled on this guy, and he had all these old different things from the 1800s and early 1900s. And Rick spotted something. And we were kind of fighting over who would buy it because it was such a good price and so hard to find. So the dealer was away, and his son was manning the table, and he didn't know anything. And, you know, so the guy comes back, and turned out he had 2 of them. And I was out of money. And so Rick's like, well, I'll buy these. You can pay me back. So I ran to the ATM to get money to pay him. And he's picking these up. But he got the pick of the litter. That was the downside. He got to pick which one he wanted. But fortunately, they were both really nice examples. Really nice examples. And so this set here, we each got. Oh man, I might be diming him out. He's going to do his own video. Sorry, Rick. We got the envelope they came in. This stuff gets my juices flowing, man. I've never seen one before. So thank you, Rick, for finding this for me. And then Rick was really gracious, and he picked me up this Howie Commence. These were, I don't know what these are exactly. They're always marketed as, and I've seen them graded, Colgan's Chip Square Proofs. And while we're on the Colgan's Chip, and I got an outstanding pickup. Might as well show you now. I have only seen 2 of these, and I was looking to buy them, but one was drastically off center. Another one had like a real bad mark on the eye. And to me, the image is most important. And I got this for what I think is a steal. And as the Colgan's Chip and the last big player I need for my set, Tris Speaker. So this is only the 3rd one I've ever personally seen. Now I got to work with it a little bit and straighten it out. I was joking with the dealer, and I offered him, we negotiated a certain price, and I offered him that price if he would straighten this out, and 200 less if I had to take it this way. And he's messing with it. And I grab it out of his hands. I'm like, I'm joking. I got this cool little thing, and you're not going to be able to see the stamp on it. But this is from 1937. I like to collect mini bats. This is from 1937, and it's from the World Series, the Subway Series. The Subway Series. And the Yankees won that year. And it says 1937 World Series on it. It's very faint though. I'm sure you can't see it on video. But I was glad to pick that up. So I go to the Silver Jackify and Filmington party. And when we walk up, there was another sponsored party going on. So when I walked up, they gave me a wristband. And I'm like, what's this for? And they're like, well, you get to eat and drink until 10 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, man, that Filmington, he's a baller, right? So it turned out to be the wrong party. So many people went over there, grabbed a drink. They're offering us hors d'oeuvres, and we didn't know it wasn't the right party. But that was a very fun party. Got to hang out with many people. It was a pleasure, and got to finally see my, I always joke about the Bigfoot sighting back when he would only show his hands. Got to finally meet Vince NY Yanks fan 7 at that function. But so Silver Jackify came in, and he had a box of these 89 Donruss. So he puts the box down. And he's like, everybody take a pack. And the first to pull Craig Biggio gets this card. So I grab one right off the top real fast. And I'm opening it up. And like the 6th card, I pull it. So I won, I won the card. Very first pack on top. All right, what else did I get? I got 2 1958 Hires root beer. I got a Don Drysdale. And I got these from Kit Young. And I got a Duke Schneider. And I'm pretty sure I need both of these. I'm not positive. I have to check. So I open again. I was hanging out with Brian B. Roth. And I got this Dominique. I was a big fan of his. And I need this card for my set. So I grabbed that. He gave me a phenomenal price on it. And I got this, I think they're W517s, I think. I always forget the numbers. Beautiful example of this. Not so easy to find these. And what a great price I got it at. Paul Wainer. I got this 1941 double headers here. Bob Feller. I noticed a ton of raw vintage, which I was not expecting to see. And I think that might be indicative that pricing on grading, maybe it's gotten too high. Because there were tons and tons of raw. And I got this. Man, this is a tough set. And this guy is a legend. Just an absolute legend. But he was banned from baseball. That's Benny Koff. And they had this priced as a common. Most dealers even are not familiar with the legends of baseball. I got this great Zach Wheat. All my collecting years, I had never picked this card up. Kirby Puckett rookie. Beautiful example. I had to snag it finally. Got this fabulous strip card of Eddie Collins. Got this beautiful red man with the tab, Roy Campanella. One of the greatest catchers ever. And I always say, 2 of the 3 catchers of all time are Italian. Man, what a steal I got this at. You don't even know. These next 2 are both pretty rare. You do not find them too often, and they're both phenomenal examples. The 1959 Bazooka. This is a 5.5 Bill Mazeroski. I got this for a fraction of what they sell for on eBay. And I'm talking authentics. This is a 5.5 in this. That's a high grade for a 59 bazooka. You know, they were on the side of the box. So even when you bought the box, they could have been damaged. And the last pickup I made, I had seen a 1960, I think they're 60, they might be 59, I think they're 60, Tacoma Giant, Juan Marichal. And I really wanted it, but I didn't have enough cash. And anything I didn't buy, Rick Vintage Oddball Cards snaked from me, right from under me. But I had bought this. I decided to buy this because I had never seen one before. And it's a 7, and it's a Cons Wiener, Hank Aaron. Just fabulous. So, you know, as I'm saying, and I know dealers missed out on money because I would have spent a lot more. I had to wake up this morning, and while I had my coffee, buy some more cards because I still had some money taken out. I had this money earmarked to buy cards, and I couldn't spend it. So I have a few fabulous cards coming, and I will be showing those soon. And let me point this out. When I bought them, it gave me the choice. It actually gave me the choice. I didn't have to use eBay authentication. And so I bought graded cards, and I chose not to send it to eBay authentication. So I don't know if they listened to my rants or there were other collectors that complained about that. But I think that's a wonderful thing that they put the choice back to the collector, because we don't have choices anymore all the time. So I want to give a special props to eBay for listening to us. Very few people ever listen to us collectors. Oh, which reminds me, I had a wonderful talk with the new editor of Sports Collectors Digest. So I ran in, I was in that magazine. I was featured in September, I think it was 2000 and what year? 17, I think. 18. Can't remember now. And so this guy comes up and introduces himself to me, and it was the guy who wrote the article. And so I got to meet him in person, and then he wanted me to, I was complaining about the new format of Sports Collectors Digest and how it's all about auctions and the collector has been passed by, and maybe they should do, slightly different version of the digital for, the young flippers and all this and that. But I'm like, us collectors are the one that gets that magazine. We're the ones that grew up with newspapers. The young flippers ain't doing that. And we could get auction prices anywhere. That's all anybody talks about. I mean, like you've passed up the new collector. It's changed. But the new editor is a great guy. He happened to have been from, I don't know if he's from South Carolina, but he worked at Columbia and ran a publication there, I think at USC there. And so I think he's going to come down. We might catch a Pelicans game, or a River Dogs. Sorry, the Pelicans are Myrtle Beach. A River Dog game. He told me reach out to him anytime, and if we have suggestions or anything like that. So I think that's wonderful. I think us collectors need to be heard, and we should have some input. So, man, that was fabulous. I just got to meet so many wonderful people. It just exceeded my expectations. And I have to tell you, I have to go now because the National was during my anniversary, and I just now got home, and my wife is downstairs waiting for me so that we could celebrate it together. So, as always, thanks for watching. If I met you at the National, I don't even have to know who you are. If I met you, you were awesome. I enjoyed it so much, every single person I met. And hanging out with you made that national so special to me. I couldn't even put it into words how much so. If I went myself, nowhere near that kind of experience. I'd have probably left after a day and a half. So thank you all. Thanks for watching.